Hi there. My name is Flynn Holbrook with the Linehaul Summit. I am one of the co-hosts for the 2022 Summit, which is taking place in Irving, Texas, if you have not heard, July 21st and 22nd. And we really hope that you'll come. If you haven't heard about the Summit, so it's the first exclusive convention for Linehaul, FedEx Linehaul contractors. It's going to be packed full of a lot of really good information to help you be more profitable, help you reduce cost, help you run your business better. And we also have some really great sponsors who are helping us put the summit on, both from a content and financial perspective. And so today we've got REL with us, Rolling Equity Leasing, and I've got Patrick McKay and Tyler Tatum. And they are really excited to sponsor the summit, so I wanted to have them on today, and let's dive into what they're going to do there and what you can learn from them. So, guys, thanks for joining me.
Yeah, thanks for having us, Flint. We really appreciate the time.
Yeah, thanks, Flint.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm kind of curious, like, you guys are the biggest sponsor at the summit. You're the headline sponsor. You grabbed it on like day one, the minute that we released and said, hey, we're going to host the summit. We're looking for sponsors, vendors to join us. You guys were like, we're the headline. So tell me, why did you do that? What's got you excited about the summit?
Sure, absolutely. So just to kind of go back and go up a little bit, Rolling Equity Leasing, Tyler and I founded the company about 2 years ago with a core fundamental premise of providing lease financing and truck financing on the TSP's largest asset and the single largest investment. Tyler and I both spent about 17, 18 years at FedEx Ground, and we, throughout that period of time, recognized there was kind of a gap in purchasing power, procurement, and the ability to get really the pricing concessions that the FedEx Ground TSPs really should be able to gather. So after we left FedEx Ground, we went to a couple of other major carriers, and we were involved in leading procurement programs and lease programs, financing programs for independent contractors. And we decided 2 years ago to step out and to provide a product dedicated entirely to the FedEx Ground TSP fleet and line haul. From that time, we participated in a couple of different expos. I'm sure some of your customers may have been to some of those expos over the previous couple of years, to great results. And the more that we can get our product out there, the more comfortable we are that what we're offering is a really great product. Those expos are really P&D focused, P&D centric, and they're more focused towards the vendors on how to push product and the ability for the vendors to get in front of the contractors. As you know, we've known you since our inception 2 years ago, and Tyler and I really feel that the values and the ethics that you bring to what you do with TruckSpy aligns very closely with ours, which is to ensure our number one priority is to help save costs, drive costs down within our customer bases, not only for the trucks, but the other programs we also have. And the expo environment is one which is good to get our product out, but it doesn't do a lot to help educate the customer to become a better business person as much as we can possibly help them. So as you started to talk about the Linehaul Summit and really the educational tracks, that the summit is really geared towards helping TSPs to learn more, educate themselves more within the products, not only the products that are available, but how to use them most effectively. It became really clear that for us, this was the primary investment we want to make going forward as it relates to getting our product out, is really getting our alignment with education and development, along with the ability to discuss our products and what we can bring to the table with our customer bases.
Yeah, Flint, the other thing I would add is, we're probably one of the only vendors that is 100% focused on FedEx Ground TSPs. So it really allows us to spend time focusing on them, their concerns, their growing needs, and what are we able to look at both today and down the road that's going to be able to save them time and money. Those are the two things that we focus on. And we're just really proud of what we've built and our team and the focus that we put in every day to support them. And it was a natural fit when you talked to us about your summit and and how we align to the spectrum of the Linehaul network itself, that it was an easy decision for us that we want to be the leader. We think we're 100% focused on the TSP contractor, and we're just really excited about the opportunity to represent ourselves in that event as the headliner.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, look, we're thrilled. We're absolutely thrilled to death to have you guys. And Patrick, I think, like you said, hopefully, if you're watching this video, you've gotten to know the summit a little bit through our email campaigns, through our direct mail. Hopefully, you know that this is very educational focused for the contractor, right? For the CSP. And I think, Patrick, what you said hits the nail on the head. Like, it seems to me that you guys very much share that vision of let's provide world-class resources to make these businesses bigger, stronger, better, right? And therefore, by you guys being there and being a sponsor, not only do you help with that content, but you also get a lot of exposure. And as those businesses grow, so do you, right? So we're like, almost what I'm hearing is you see the big picture. You're not just going to be a guy on the trade show floor selling what you sell. You're actually invested in the long haul life cycle of the CSP.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. And in fact, that's fundamentally our core business in truck leasing and financing. How we started and started REL 2 years ago was founded with kind of everything in the background being our priority has to be within full business and life cycle management of the asset. It's not as simple to say you're going to be successful if you just provide bank financing to somebody to go out and buy a truck. That's a million guys do it, and gals, and some successfully, some not. Some very, very expensive, some less expensive. But at the end of the day, that's not who we are. REL really is about protecting the life cycle of the asset, along with helping the TSP build their business in other formats as they go along, save money in fuel, have an insurance program that is commensurate with their buying power, manage their asset with them from a maintenance perspective, not only on breakdown maintenance and 24/7 support, but 100% of their managed maintenance within the life cycle and the recommended intervals of the truck. That's an in-house product that our employees actually handle. So really, it's not about leasing a truck and giving it off to the customer and saying, okay, here you go. It's really about protecting 100% of our customers' interest in the long-term ownership of what's going to be their largest asset. And then additionally enable them to grow. One of the benefits that REL has, and I think Tyler and I bring to the table, is understanding the TSP model so well after having spent a few decades there, really allows us from our financing perspective and our own banks to have discussions that nobody else really can have with them about the security of that fleet and how well the TSPs really perform as it relates to it. Everything else we want to provide, the ancillary products that we want to continue to provide, is built specifically to be the long haul for the customer, not only in the truck, but in the long life cycle of their assets. So that's 100% aligned with the way that you've treated the business, and honestly why we invested so heavily within the lead sponsor of the event.
Yep. Well, we sure appreciate it, and I love that we're so well aligned here. It really is kind of a match made in heaven for the summit. I'm kind of curious. Like, there's probably a lot of contractors that don't know who REL is, or if they do, they say that's a truck leasing company, right? That's what comes to mind. But I think that there's a whole lot more under the hood here, right? And I think, at least from our perspective, it's going to be pretty exciting at the summit for contractors to get to know REL maybe as more than just a truck leasing company, right? Because I know that that's kind of the core business, but it sounds like you guys actually bring a whole lot of value to the table that probably your competitors don't. And Tyler obviously summed it up pretty well. To my knowledge, you're the only provider who's exclusively focused on FedEx Ground, the entire life cycle of the asset. I mean, those are real differentiators. So, I mean, what do you hope to get out of the show in terms of awareness? Is that something that's a priority for you guys, is getting that message out of everything that REL actually offers? Yeah,
I think for sure that's one of a primary messages. For us, it's as much understanding the TSP's businesses and how they function and operate as it is for us, getting our name out. We're on MyGroundBiz. We get an awful lot of contacts from TSPs who are coming in-house. But to your point, one of the things that we take so seriously for one of our roles is we really consider three different customers. We consider the customer that's brand new to FedEx. This might be an investor. It might be a trucker from a different company that's coming in and has the first couple lanes they may be acquiring from somebody, but they're fresh to FedEx. They don't know the system. They don't know what some of the potential pitfalls might be. We consider our P&D guys who are growing up into a Linehaul fleet, want to take on additional business. And then we consider our existing TSPs, Linehaul people that may have been in Linehaul for 20 years, that are expanding their fleet, refreshing their fleet, going into different markets, expanding into different places. All three of those have kind of a different approach in terms of how we can help support them. One of the things that we are working on this year, we literally call it Operation Silver Bullet. We know when a new TSP comes in-house or a P&D ISP wants to convert, that there can be a 4 to 6, maybe sometimes longer lag from the time that they get their truck delivered to them until the time it's approved within the FedEx network and can start earning revenue. There shouldn't be any longer than maybe a week. In fact, what we're working on right now is when we deliver our truck to you, when we either deliver it to you and you sign your contract on your lease, or you pick it up at one of our PDI centers and you sign your lease, that truck effectively is already up and operating as an effective unit within FedEx Ground. Nothing would be better than you signing your lease today, driving your truck away to one of the hub or terminal networks, taking your first load, and earning settlement the day that the truck departs. So that's the sort of thing as we think about value. It's working with that customer and the contact group that we have within Pittsburgh to make sure that we're eliminating these barriers that are problematic in the beginning. And then as anything occurs, if you add trucks in Billings, Montana, and your home domicile is Tampa, Florida, what's going to happen at the local Billings terminal as it relates to truck approval versus what happens when you normally get it approved in Tampa? How do we break any of those barriers down so that the experience is the same for the customer? So that's a huge part of this, is making sure that that's the messaging. That's who REL is. We're not if you consider us as a leasing provider, then we're just everybody else.
Yeah, you're one of the crowd, right? And that's what stands out to me. And I think that's the message, right? That we hope contractors take away about REL from this summit is I want to drive awareness just as much as you guys do about how high value all of these things are that you're able to help the contractor do throughout that life cycle. So that's really cool. I'm excited to learn more at the summit. Look, I'm curious if somebody's watching this video, why do you think as REL that they should attend the summit? What is in this for the contractor?
Yeah, I think probably the lessons we've learned, as Pat alluded to a little bit earlier, the events that we've held, you're never going to have the opportunity to be as close to your peers side by side and kind of have a benchmarking session of what's working and where your challenges are than an event like this. And you're also, you've talked about coaching and you've talked about teaching. Those things are essential whether you've been in the business for 20 years and tried to learn what's changed or you're brand new coming in. This is exactly the environment that you're going to be able to ask the right questions or find the right answers with those that have already experienced that. And one of the things that has been really surprising to us is how open other TSPs are and telling their story and sharing the work that they've done to be successful. Because at the end of the day, it's about the entire group being successful and supporting each other because it's a big model. And the competition isn't between yourselves. It's between others that are trying to do the business that aren't running under the umbrella of FedEx Ground.
Yep.
Yeah, we would call it community. The community engagement is so critical. As I had said earlier, Tyler and I spent 18 years there, all in operations management through Linehaul, regional directors, dock supervisors, you name it. And part of what you learn in that environment is now, granted, it's the business environment. You're going to seminars all the time with your colleagues, and you're learning how to do different things within that format. This is very similar. Where does the FedEx TSP go to start to think about how do they change their business, or how can they do their business a different way that makes it better, stronger, more efficient, more profitable? And unless you are able to get them together with a group of like-minded people who maybe went through the same things that they have, maybe learned the same growing pains, maybe have identified specific vendors who are very beneficial for them, then you're kind of stuck out in this nexus where you're fighting for something that can go much smoother. Quite honestly, that's the easiest and most simple way to think about these types of events with the Linehaul Summit. Is building community is the most critical step of making sure you can get answers quickly and from people who have lived through it before. And then the secondary function, I think, with this is really the way you're approaching this as it compares to all others, which is the most important part of these types of events is to get educational tracks down where a TSP gets the knowledge from the experts. Let's walk through human resources. Let's walk through operations management. And under each of those are 10 or 15 different components that help make TSPs successful in the long haul for their business. So there's a huge benefit to contractor or TSP participation in events like this. And as we said earlier, yours focuses on what we believe to be the right things, which is helping the development of their business.
Yep, absolutely. And look, if you're watching this and you have not been to the website, there are 30 educational sessions that we have planned. A lot of them are led by contractors and partnered up with vendors. And like Tyler said, a lot of the contractors that have figured some of this stuff out and have grown to be 100 trucks are now coming back and saying to us, hey, I'm willing to share my knowledge. Put me on stage. Let's talk about whatever the topic is, whether it's finance or safety or HR. I'm willing to give my information away for free to help other contractors because it makes the whole community stronger. It makes us all better at what we do. And that's like the meat of the show, right? Is let's get everybody in the room. Let's swap best practices in kind of an organized, structured way where you can actually take something home to implement in your business. So if you haven't seen that, linehaulsummit.com, pull it up, click on training. There's a whole list there of the educational courses that we'll be offering. So Patrick, Tyler, if somebody's watching this and they want to get in touch with you ahead of the show, what's the best way to do that?
You can go to our website at www.teamrel.com and you can click on Start Your Journey, fill out your information, including your V number, and we will reach out to you within 24 hours at the latest.
There we go. Easy enough. Well, guys, thanks so much for joining me today. I can't wait to see you in person at the summit.
Yeah. Thank you, Flint.
Thanks.
All right. Thanks.